Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. This is a great weather out here, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone and introduce Jagmohan Rishi ji. It's my, privilege to introduce him. He is Vice President L&D and Digital Transformation at Wockhardt. He is an executive coach. He has over a decade and a half plus experience in pharma L&D. So that is the core, experience he possesses. He is also champion in digital strategy and rolling out various digital strategic initiatives at Vocart. He is an executive performance coach, and he also specializes in balanced scorecard methodologies. He's a visionary and creative process-driven professional who is aware of market intelligence and strategizes implementation of L&D and advancement of the organization using L&D techniques. So that's the brief of Jagmohan Rishiji. For us today, he's going to deliver a session on how to improve executive presence. So thanks, JSR, for spending time and joining us and helping us refresh our knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chintan. I hope I'm very clearly audible to all of you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the nice introduction. And at the outset, happy new year to all of you. Maybe this 2021 will be a very, very fruitful year, and all your aspirations are achieved in this particular year, 2021. Because I always say casually that it has got WON in it, one. So that how. So moving it further, friends, today's topic is very interesting, which is called executive presence, but before I begin, let me ask, all because we've got a limited number of participants, let me ask quickly, how many of you are into IT? Okay, you can give me a thumbs up, you can unmute yourself because small group. So I know Mitra is in IT. Everybody is in IT here?
Yes, I am also in IT.
Rafael is in IT. Okay.
I'm also in IT. This is Vinay here.
Vinay also in IT. Okay. Rajneesh.
Hi, Supriya here. I was in IT.
Yeah,
earlier.
you were in IT, of course. I know that but you are in associated field only.
My old
Rishi,
avatar.
I am not an IT guy. I'm an ex-army guy.
Oh, ex-army guy. Oh, great. Excellent.
So IT से हम लोग कोसों दूर हैं.
अरे. So what motivated you to attend this program, sir?
Because I am aware of this subject, this topic, and more than anything else, this is one of the very hidden skills which can make a huge difference when you are in a group of people.
Okay. This as of now, who was speaking? I am Indwin, no? Please pardon me. Who was speaking just now?
Rajneesh Akuri.
Rajneesh. Okay. I was there's a mix up over there. Okay. Thank you, Rajneesh. Okay. So you are saying that and in which corps you were there in Army, sir?
I was from the infantry, Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry.
Oh, JK Light Infantry. I'm a son of an army officer. My father was in infantry, Assam Regiment. And,
fantastic.
He is a veteran of Indo-Pak War, 65 and 71. So great respect for army. But as you rightly said, that executive presence is, or gravitas is there in the blood of army officers. And as the ad of army says, that we make gentlemen out of a man. That is at the helm of the affairs when it comes to the gentleman or the gravitas in a human race, I call it. Thank you very much for your introduction. So let me quickly begin, because we have got almost about 1 hour. I'll tell you how we'll be going about is We'll be spending about 1 hour about the presentation, and in case we have any Q&A, we'll spend about 15-20 minutes around that. Does it suit everybody? Because being a weekend, you must be having your own, plans for going out with family or friends. Although be careful about it. Coming to my, I'll be sharing the screen now.
ऋषि जी ए सारे सट्टे मार देने कोई किथे भी नहीं जा रहा है
नहीं सब जानते हैं सर मैं जा रहा हैगा मैं जा रहा मेरी बीवी भी छत तोप लगे खड़ी हैगी है
ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੋਪ ਵੇਖਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਬਾਕੀ ਤੇ ਛੱਡੋ ਤੋਪ ਵੇਖਣੀ ਹੈ
okay so that's good to start on a Punjabi note. But they say that, change favors the prepared mind. So I always like to start with a different kind of, approach. I mean, irrespective of religion, let me share with you that I would request you, that if you can close your eyes and can I request all of you to please close your eyes and I will be asking you to take a deep breath, take a deep breath and exhale very, very slowly. Okay. Now, once again, you take a deep breath and exhale very slowly. Okay. Now, this time when you take a deep breath, I would want you to chant either Om or whatever, mantra from your religion you want to chant it out. Very slowly, you give your breath out. For example, if I'm doing it, inhale your breath, please. Can you do once more, please? Let me hear the voice from you. Okay, thank you very much. You may now open your mind. Open your eyes. Mind is always open, of course. My whole objective of, doing this is that people have a lot of, plans at the back of the mind. And on the Saturday evening, I'm having this particular session. I want a prepared mind because whatever I'm going to cover, I would like you to listen for maybe 15-20 minutes. And of course, I'll try to engage you in that particular aspect. So what exactly is executive presence? Can you quickly unmute yourself because we're a small group, or you can put in the chat box. What exactly is executive mind? Can you please share with me by unmuting yourself, please? I would like to hear from you.
Rishiji, Rajneesh here.
Yes, Rajneesh.
So executive presence is made of two words.
Okay.
One is presence and second is executive.
Okay.
So executive word can be defined as colloquially, dictionary wise, it means different, but on the ground, it means different.
Okay.
But it does mean that executive is somebody with authority,
Okay.
somebody with knowledge, somebody with the organizational tribal knowledge besides the book knowledge.
Organizational tribal knowledge. क्या बड़ा दांसू वर्ड बोला सर
बड़ा लंबा दांसू वर्ड हैगा जी ये तुसी नोट कर लियो
मैं करता पहले जी is it visible to you? I'm putting on a sticky note over there.
Yes.
Okay.
And presence is in a group whether other people are aware of you, physical, your physical presence, your mental presence, your contributory presence. And there is a fantastic book on presence just now written by Amy Cuddy.
Absolutely, very nice. Amy Cuddy is one of my favorite ones. So thanks so much for your contribution, Rajneesh. Anybody else who like to contribute?
Yeah, so with knowledge of executive presence, you are Narendra Modi and otherwise Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, let's keep politics outside, sir. Okay.
I mean, it says presence of mind actually.
Okay. So it talks about presence of mind. Okay, building confidence. It talks about, I think Supriya has mentioned in the chat box about confidence.
Yes.
confidence, displaying confidence, or building confidence?
Yes.
So, anybody else would like to contribute in this? Rinku or Sally or Supriya or maybe Mitraji?
Yeah, maybe one point is as communication.
Oh, very good, very good. Communication, excellent, excellent. So where do you normally use? So I will be saving this particular aspect over here. So let me come back to my slides. Okay. How does having executive presence help us?
So it
Since we are a
helps us.
small group.
Yeah. So
So
it helps us. It helps us deliver the right message to our audience. So when I say audience, it is juniors, peers, as well as seniors. So to conveying the right message in the right tone.
Okay, that's good.
Hello.
Yes.
May I say something or?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. I think it is more to do with establishing dominance, and don't mind my word dominance over here. I don't mean it in a negative sense. But there was a book I was reading called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. And the first chapter itself suggests that once you establish a certain tone and a certain dominance over where you work or where you live or whatever, you're going to get the least resistance. So it is going to help you get least resistance in terms of making any decisions for your company or for your own self. I think that's how having an executive presence may help.
Yeah, definitely.
Rishiji,
Yes.
Rajneesh here again.
Hanji, sir.
So my view on this is how does it help? So I'll start by giving a context. This is my 37th year of service. I've been working for last 37 years.
Okay.
So executive presence is valuable when you are working in a team scenario.
Okay.
That is the first thing to be which comes to my mind. So when you are in a team or when you are a manager, you need others' help to complete the task.
Okay.
Executive presence is the oil which makes this teamwork happen and continues it to run for a longer period of time, mission after mission, task after task.
Okay. So good one.
I would like to differ slightly with the last speaker when he said that least resistance or the dominance. So not in the negative sense, but it does make things happen.
I'll cover that particular aspect. Thanks for your point of view, Mr. Rajneesh. How do I call it? You are a colonel or brigadier. I should not,
Anything. That's why I didn't give out my rank.
Okay, okay. So, boss, I understood it, and let me quickly come to the particular point where executive presence is a credibility that goes beyond a title. I'll give you one example. I'm in WOCHAD, and I conducted along with my colleague Rinku, few of the sessions which was on change management, and this was particularly for the R&D staff, and they had a leader. I'll not name him, but very, very knowledgeable. You based in US, and he keeps on hopping between US and India. His team is full of energy, and this guy is very, very knowledgeable from the scientist perspective. But when it comes to management, sometimes in between he will make a comment which people will start, making faces or laugh accordingly. So same thing was observed when he was negotiating with the outside parties in the meetings. So do you think that person can command the same kind of confidence or gravitas or respect vis-a-vis somebody else who knows what to speak, where to speak, and how to speak? Maybe yes and no. You can quickly type in the chat box.
Yes.
Do you think he will be able to command that respect? Yes.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, if we have to appoint him to the next level, that is where the challenge comes. That is from the internal perspective. On second example, I can give you, you are going to an organization. I don't know. I do not know the background of the participants over here, but most of them are engineers. So suppose you are as a agency, you are making a pitch to a company for your own product or application or software, and we have got a team, very high profile team of 5 to 6 people who are presenting it. Now, what kind of people would you like them like to pitch? Would you want you to be pitching? I mean, what is it? What is the type of people who should be pitching it? I mean, they are knowledgeable or tech savvy, and at the same time, before they open their mouth, they should they be respected and commanding respect or not? So okay, someone who has the ability to command the room. Okay, Manav has rightly said. Of course, there is always a difference between the people before they open their mouth. When people come into the room, enter the room itself, you know, it creates some kind of aura. Aura walks into the room. I am remembering another example also. My brother-in-law, he's an ex-army officer. He was in artillery, and there was a case which was going on from his family point of view. So when he had straight away come from you know, his office, and he was in his army dress, and the moment he entered the courtroom, I mean, there was a pin drop silence, whereas he had come as not as any kind of senior leader, but he had come to support his sister. So that is where, so there was an aura which had dawned in that particular courtroom. So that is why I'm saying executive presence is a credibility that goes beyond a title, my dear friend. We'll delve upon it in next about half an hour to 30 minutes. Little bit about myself. As Chintanji mentioned, I'm army reject, could not join army because of my medical reasons. Become a salesperson turned leader. Okay. Became a leader trainer and now transformed to digital mentor, of course. I will not cover this aspect. I was experienced in leadership training. This also has been covered greatly, but I would like to especially mention about the book, Are You Digital Dinosaur, which is covering digitization in the corporate world. Some of the companies I worked for, which sold Dalentin, Benadryl, Listerine, Halls. I worked in Pfizer, Corex, and Viagra. I worked in selling Sebamed also. These are some of the companies which I worked for. These are my coaches and my mentors. Marshall Goldsmith, if you have heard about it, he's a coach of the coaches, and one person who really I admire. Andrew Brandt is another one who's a coach is based in Singapore. Some of the programs which I've conducted in the past, some glimpses of it, and my book, I like to cover briefly about it, is Amazon bestseller. When it was launched 2019, it came before time. And you can refer to my book through my YouTube videos. You can subscribe to my channel, Argue with Jagmohan Rishi. Best part which is there from my heart is that all the profits from this book are donated to Bharat Ke Veer Foundation, which supports the widows of Indian Army. So coming back to the session now. Now, I would want you to pick up one person whom would you like to be in this. This is a slide which has numbers in it. Are you able to see the complete slide in this with the numbers, or the numbers are getting cut?
Yeah, numbers are getting cut. You will have to zoom out a bit, maybe to 75% or something.
Since it is in an iPad, I do not know it is happening or not. So you can take a guess here that this is 1,
No
2,
problem.
3, 4, 5.
हाँ बस आप वो
And
ऊपर
this
के
6,
5
7,
दिख
8,
जाएंगे
9,
ना,
10.
ऊपर के 5 दिख जाएंगे तो नीचे वाले हम लोग एज्यूम कर लेंगे.
Assume कर लो, ये 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what is the kind of personality you associate with yourself, my dear friend? You can put in a chat box. Okay, I'm getting Manav says 9. Okay, great. Hemang says 5. Okay. Rajneesh says 5. Okay. Lalit says, Chintan says 3. Okay.
I have said 5.
Okay, you said 5. Okay. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Harshvardhan says 5. I mean, there are ladies also in the group. Okay. I can hear, I hope. Yeah. Dr. Priya says 10. Okay. Great. Okay. Anybody else? There's Supriya, there's Rinku, there's Saili also.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have said
2.
5.
Okay.
This is
5.
Rafael.
Raphael said 5. Okay, great. So that is how, okay, so you say 6. That's great. So this is something about the, outfit, about the dressing part. We'll cover in detail about it. The presence, as I think Rajneesh started it very well, that what exactly is the presence. I'll come to these particular points over here very soon. It talks about what you stand for, how you show up, how you connect with others, how you communicate and being present. So this is a small thing which we're going to cover because this is a full day presentation. And I regularly coach along with my coaches on the executive presence. So we're going to cover sharpen your executive presence, enhance social skills, and engage the prospective customers, get a buy-in with the stakeholders, and greater confidence to interact with people from all walks of life. And I'm going to uncover a small proprietary formula from executive presence that is called ESOPs. Now, I had a small exercise and it will take another 15 minutes, but I'm not going to cover this particular aspect over here because I think, Chintan, do we have time for covering this activity or not?
Yes, we have time, definitely.
Okay, so let's do with this activity. So what I'll do is I will request you, I will just, because normally the breakout rooms, I normally have it. That is reason I came on Zoom, but I'm not able to see the breakout rooms. So I'm pitching you with some Manav, I'm pitching you with Mitra, Rafael, I'm pitching you with Vinay, Supriya, I'm pitching you with Rinku, and who's iPad? Achha, that is me only, sorry. Ram, I'm pitching with Ramesh, and Lalit, I'm pitching you with Nikita, and Hemang, I'm pitching you with Harshvardhan, and Indwin, I'm pitching you with Sunil, and Narsiman, I'm pitching you with Chintan. So you all have pairs with you. What I would want is you don't have to, ask the other person. You just have to go to the LinkedIn profile or social profile and introduce your partner. I'm giving you about exactly 3 minutes to do this activity.
ऋषि मेनू केदे नाल किता
आप okay, somebody else is joining just now, Prakash. तो आप प्रकाश के साथ हो जाओ जी. Prakash.
What is this is Rafael. What is Vinay's full name? Because I only.
Yeah, you can tell the full name. That is allowed.
Vinay Vandrekar.
Okay. Oh, okay. Dr. Vinay Vane. Good.
Prakash K.
Mitra sir, what would be your full name?
Last name is Wani, W-A-N-I.
Okay.
I'll ping you.
Okay.
Yeah, you please ping.
Nitika,
MIRGH.
what's your last name, please? Nitika, I only see Nitika T. If you can give your last name, please.
Hello.
Yeah, who's this?
Haji.
Nitika.
Joshi sir.
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ, Joshi.
Yes.
Jay sir, you'll have to map Joshi sir with someone, I guess.
Okay, Joshi sir can find out about me, Jagmohan Rishi. Joshi sir.
May I submit something to you, please?
Yeah, please.
See, I have a bit of a hearing problem.
Okay.
So whatever the dialogue goes on, I may not be able to catch, and I may not be able to properly respond.
Okay.
Hence, I would request you to please excuse me.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
You,
okay.
Who was pitched with Mr. Ramesh ji?
Haji. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Right,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So anybody left now? Abhay is left, no?
What is Rinku's full name? Rinku?
Mirg, MIRGH.
Yeah, it's MIRGH. Yeah.
Prakash, what's your full name, please?
Put your full names in the chat box, please.
Priya, yours is Sachdeva, right? Sachdeva.
Yes.
So we
I
have.
guess I guess Narsimhan, my partner, has left the session.
But you can always introduce him. Huh?
I think Chintanji, my partner, also left, Mr. Sunil Sharma. So I was searching to ping him.
So you pick up another partner. Some new faces have joined here. Abhay Kumar, Anis has joined, Muskan has joined.
I don't find Harshvardhan your profile on LinkedIn.
I mean, it is not only LinkedIn, it is social media. You can pick up Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is.
You can check HJ Jani on LinkedIn or Harshvardhan Jani.
All right.
Narsimhan, are you around?
Yes, yes. Yours is Hemang Doshi, Global IT Head. That's your profile?
That's mine.
Correct, fine. Mine profile will be Converge Core Head, Geo.
Okay. I'm still struggling, but let me try. Or else if you can ping me on LinkedIn.
Okay, last 1 minute now before we start.
ऋषि लगता है प्रकाश साइलेंट मोड पे चला गया कोप पवन पे
कोई बात नहीं, there are other people also. You can take up anybody basically, or if you know the name, you can always come back with that particular introduction. So considering the time frame, we will try to get as many introductions. Whole objective is, there is a background objective behind it. I will come back to that. Are you able to see my screen?
No.
No?
No, nothing is
Okay,
visible.
I'll again share the screen then. How about now?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. So let us quickly begin the activity. I would want that, whoever is ready, please come forward. I don't want too many details. I just want 3 bullet points from each one of you. So
Yeah, I can start. Rishiji. I was paired with Manav, and what I could find out immediately was that he was a commerce student. He's now very much interested into CA, chartered accountancy as well, and pretty much an avid follower of Elon Musk. And started
3 points only.
Video channel. Yeah, okay.
Thank
so
you.
These
Thank
3
you.
things.
3 points. I want 3 points only. Okay, Manav, your turn.
Okay, my turn. I had Mitra sir. What the number one thing that I noticed about him was that he's into artificial intelligence. He has done engineering, and right now he lives in Europe. He has his own startup about IT solutions and architecture. I'm sorry, I'm not much of a technically sound person, so I wouldn't know the details of it.
So we want 3 points only. That's it. Thank you, Manav. Thank you very much. Who's next? Rafael ji.
Yeah, this is Rafael. Yeah, I was requested to introduce Dr. Vinay Vandrekar, who is a good friend of mine. So just yesterday I spoke to him. So, Dr. Vinay, he works at Novartis, and he has been associated with PMI for I guess 2 decades. He's a CISA. He has a lot of certifications in information security, in other aspects of IT. He lives in Mumbai. I guess he's not that active in social media, except in LinkedIn and other professional social mediums. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Vinayji, your turn.
Okay. As Rafael mentioned, I already know him. Currently, he's working as Vice President Marketing at PMI Mumbai chapter, which is like an honorary position. Professionally, he works for a company known as NTT, and from his certifications, I know he has done PMP and ITIL. He's also done he has a bachelor's degree in commerce and a postgraduate diploma in computer science. He stays in Mumbai, and I know that he's very passionate about PMI.
Thank you very much, Vinay. That was pretty elaborate introduction, and the time limit which I given was good. That means within 3 minutes you can find out about a person, online and offline, of course. Yeah, somebody else who's ready? Lalit, Wazirani, or Nitika?
I don't have Nitika's full name. I asked her a few times, but I didn't get any reply. But I can see she's passionate about technology and she's very reserved. These were the two things I could understand.
That's good enough. Thank you. Okay, anybody else, please? Prakash or
Rajneesh here.
Yeah, Rajneesh.
So I homed on to Indwin Joel.
Yeah.
So Joel is an engineer and an HR person. And he also is a very avid, he's very, I would say, very good on Twitter.
Okay.
And he appears to be a very, very kind-hearted person.
Okay. That's good. He appears to be a very kind-hearted person. So Indwin, come back, please. So he, Mr. Rafael has covered 3 points, exactly what I've told Ditto. So you please cover 3 points about Mr. Rajneesh. Indwin, you are there.
I was given Mr. Sunil. So
okay, no
as per the talk with Chintan, I've seen Chintan's search profile. So for Chintan sir, I know he's a tech geek and he's inclined more into blockchain and digital transformation. And he ensures a lot of people are learning from his TMI Foundation. And he's very active on LinkedIn and a lot of other platforms as well.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's go to some ladies in the group, Supriya and Rinku.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, Supriya, go ahead.
Okay, so Rinku she's a certified coach and AGM in the organization development and coaching at Work Hard. What caught my attention was that she is a guest lecturer. She loves to share her knowledge with students, management students, and has achieved as good number of honors and awards associated with her professionally. And one consistent thing that I see on her profile is that she's very good at managing tricky projects and situations. Over to you, Rinku.
Thank you, Supriya. My honor to introduce Supriya Sachdeva. Honor student in BSc Computer Science. She's done her Masters in Computer Science as well. A hardcore strategist, branding, online branding and marketing strategy. She helps business to grow in the digital space by promoting, chalking their strategies. She's all the pictures that I've seen her, she's very smiling, so I feel she's very approachable. She connects with people, and yes, she's a guest lecturer at a lot of institutes, technical as well as management.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rinku, and thank you very much, Supriya, for your introduction. I think I will, Chintan bhai, I will stop with you. Who was you to introduce?
Yeah, so I had Narsiman Ilangovan, and I can still introduce him. So
yeah, please introduce. No problem at all.
So give me a moment.
I want 3 bullet points only, sir.
Yes, definitely. So he is a futurist. He is a keynote speaker. So that's the first introduction. He also volunteers a lot, involved with various NGOs, non-profits. And third one is he's a partner at a consulting firm.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you very much. So I will not, go further because in the interest of time. But my question to all of you is, what was the insight from this particular exercise or activity? Can somebody quickly unmute and share, please? Why did we do this exercise and in the session of executive presence?
Rajneesh here.
Yes, sir.
Do we have the ability to read beyond what is given or what is in front of our eyes?
Okay.
Because there are so many other things which influence our perception of what we see and what actually is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that, I think, would be one of the key points for this exercise.
Okay. Anybody else, please? Sorry.
Yeah, I have an answer.
Yeah.
I noticed two things. Number one, this thing is related to social media. Number two, before entering the presentation, there was a survey wherein there were 2 questions on social media presence itself. So I think this is to nail down that point that social media presence also helps you establish a good dominant executive presence. I'm not sure, but this is my theory.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Anybody else, please give me. I'm looking for the answer. I mean, you are nearby, but not the ditto answer which I wanted. Anybody else? Can you somebody try it out? Supriya, since you are from social media, can you try it out, please?
Yeah, so probably your objective is to highlight that we all work on perceptions. So when you meet a person, what are the key takeaways, or what is the first impression that you form about a person? What are the things that you look for are probably the things that come out more clearly about you. And since it's social media, so the kind of profile that you project is exactly how people are going to perceive you.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very good point. The whole objective of this activity was that, today we are in a digital world, and I think the best teacher has been Corona or COVID, which taught us. And we have been talking about COVID, social media before the COVID times also. So if let's take example of Supriya also. Sorry, anybody else? Okay, can I continue?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I was on.
Okay. So let's take example of Supriya. So in case she's going to, pitch to say a company called Pfizer, and there's a gentleman by the name of Chintan Oza over there, who's a digital head over there. Okay. So I'm sure Supriya will definitely search about Chintan before going to Pfizer, right, Supriya?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Similarly, if Chintan is keen enough to find out that who is coming to pitch me, I mean, at least what I do is that if somebody comes to me from the agency, I try to search that what the background about that person is and what specializations he or she is bringing on the table. So it says that before I meet a person, my presence already travels to that person. That is the power of social media, and that is where I always ask people to make your online presence very strong. Be very, very careful what is being put on social media, not only on Facebook, not only on LinkedIn, but also on Facebook and Instagram. So that is very, very crucial that we have to understand what is our online presence. And that is one of my key, one of the part of my, secret formula called ESOPs. So I'll cover that aspect in detail. So my whole objective was that don't underestimate the power of social media or online presence. So that is where I asked you to introduce a person without knowing the person, only through social media, through online presence. So online executive presence is not about your performance only, but what you signal to the world, that is the outside, for your next big chance. So it's a big aspect over here. You'll understand more from the next exercise which I'm going to give you, which is yin and yang exercise. So there are 3 aspects over here: personality traits. This is a very small part of my larger exercise, which is a full page exercise. So as of now, I would want you to cover only 3 parts of it. So if you understand the 3 personality traits, on one side is gentle, on the other side is forceful, on one side is warm, other side is distant, one side is open, other side closed. Rate yourself, my dear friends. Where are you in this grid? Where are you? You can see almost always, often, sometimes towards this side, sometimes, often, almost always towards that side. So I would want you to rate yourself. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you your score if you are not willing to say it, but you can always make your assessment. I'm giving you exactly 1 minute. If you're done, just give a thumbs up, please. From the reactions window, like this. Are we done? Okay. When it says done. Mitra says done, Supriya says done. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So now that you are done, my dear friends, you must be already having some idea that you are falling in which side of the personality trait, towards forceful, distant and closed, or gentle, warm and open. I mean, I have got 15 parameters, but considering the short duration, I've just covered some part of it, which we cover in 15 parameters we cover in a personal coaching part. Now, before I ask you, there are, two types of energies. One is yin and second is yang. You must have heard about it. This is traveled from China, and yin is something which is gentle, subtle, youthful and warm. Yang is something which is forceful, distant, mature and closed. So that is how it is, the energies. Now I would want you to tell me in the chat box, your energies are towards yin side or you are towards yang side. You can unmute and tell it also, or you can always put in the chat box. Professor Mani, welcome to the session, sir.
More towards yin.
More towards yin. Okay. Right.
Can
Raphael
you
says
just display
yin.
that slide?
Sorry?
Can you just display that slide?
Yes.
Thanks, Jagmohan. I'm on the yin side myself.
Yeah, I know, sir. You are always on the yin side. Very warm, subtle, youthful, gentle.
ऋषि मेरा क्या बनेगा यार, मैंने डाला है बॉक्स में, प्लीज।
आपको ज्यादा पता है, मैं थोड़ी बता दूंगा सर आपको। We can have a separate discussion after this session, sir.
No, मैं बॉक्स में डाल दिया, चैट बॉक्स।
अच्छा, चैट बॉक्स में डाला। Okay, I must have missed it. Sometimes forceful, often warm. Okay, now very good question. You see, it is, I'm not talking about the situational part. Because of your job, sometimes you have to be forceful. But what are you? What is Rajneesh as a human being? When there is no pressure of a job, when there is no pressure of children's or kids, or wife's pressure. Okay, what is a Rajneesh as a human being? What I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about situational or the masked personality. As a personality, what you are.
Okay. Okay.
For example, Trump will not fall anywhere in this. Okay, all done? All of you done?
Yes.
So as some of you, majority of you are showing, the yin characteristics, and some people are showing mixture also. Definitely, it is not easy, because you can't say that Mr. Mani, Professor Mani is not mature. If he says I'm on a yin side, yang is a mature. You have maturity in that, but forceful. Okay, so that is here. The people are a little confused sometimes. It's a combination of yin and yang, but predominantly what is the kind of energy which we show in a predominant or most of the issues, and that is something which travels. That is what we call it gravitas, which travels with us. You know, that is the reason I started with a breathing session with the Om, so that you normalize and you come with a natural process. Can you tell me what is the yin or yang test for this particular gentleman? Is he yin or yang side? From what we know as a human being, not in the real Govinda, but from what we know.
I would say yin side. I would say more of yin side.
More towards yang side. How about this gentleman?
Yin. Y-I-N.
Y-I-N. Yin. Absolutely. What about this gentleman?
He spoke over.
Yang.
Yang. Okay.
Yang side.
Somebody says yang.
He's
How
yang
about
side.
others? Yang side.
I would also
okay.
say yin side. I would say yin side.
Okay. How about this gentleman?
Yin side.
Yang.
I have a question actually for.
How about this gentleman?
This is yin. That one was yang.
Yeah, that is true, and this exactly is a dichotomy what Rajneesh was asking, that sometimes because of the roles we display these things, but in the reality, our quotient is something different, which we have to which we real are. So it is very, very important when we are showing an executive presence. You don't show when you're making a pitch to a client or to a stakeholder internally in the company, you don't put any mask on your face. So if the more relaxed you are and more natural you are, you build inside yourself those particular DNAs, the way army builds into the human being or a man. That is where we have to make sure that in reality, I believe that Amitabh Bachchan is towards yin side. I mean, when we see him in a KBC or other aspects, because he's very, very, very good mannered person and respects human beings. I'm going to give you another aspect here. This is a part of the survey which Chintan must have forwarded to you. Do you feel uncomfortable in approaching people in social gatherings, networking meets, and striking up conversations? You can put your point number 1, 2, 3 in that, in the chat box. Okay, 2, sometimes. 1, okay, rarely. Okay, great. Vinay says 2, okay. Supra says 1, okay. Abhay says 3, okay. Vin says 1. Yep. Vin says 1. Great. So Harshvardhan says 2. So great. Thank you very much. In fact, this is one of a part of my survey which I have sent you earlier. And there are about 20 questions. We have covered only 3 questions here. My second question is, do you often feel misunderstood by others and their perception of you is different that of reality? 1, 2, 3. Rarely, sometimes, and most of the times. Rarely. Sometimes. One says sometimes. Okay, sometimes. Abhay says 1. Indu says 2. Okay. Supra says 2. Okay. Petra says 2. Harshvardhan says 2. Okay. Great. Chintan says 2. Yeah. Many times what happens is that we wanted to say something, but people perceive something else because of their preconceived notions or because of the other ecosystems. So that is where I'm going to come to the key aspect very soon. But there is a third question. Do you think people can identify your role by looking at you? For example, if you are a senior vice president, do you come across as one or not? 1, 2, or 3. Okay, great. So keeping these aspects in mind, so far we have been into assessment mode only, my dear friend. So I'm going to give you a formula of ABCD of personal branding. How many of you want it? How many of you would like to have it? ABCD of personal branding. Just type on BIO, bring it on. Just type it, bring it on, BIO. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So here is the ABCD of personal branding, my dear friend. It talks about, start with A is appearance, that how you look. B is behavior. C is communication. I think Mitra had mentioned it at the beginning. And D is the digital footprint. So these are 4 parameters which make executive presence is stronger and noticeable of a human being, whether you are presenting it to your internal stakeholders like your CMD or managing director, or whether you are presenting it to an external stakeholder. That is how it is. So that's how it is. But in the center, are you seeing something called G, gravitas, which is very much different from ABCD. So gravitas is, again, I must say, it is something called invisible, but person can feel only. You know, that is where we call it gravitas. And I will cover in detail about gravitas. And A, appearance, talks about that one has to be authentic, relevant, and very, very unique. Between the center, we call it personal brand, and the combination of these authentic, relevant, and unique will make your personal brand, which will be a part of your gravitas. So if you are going for a particular meeting, for example, other day, as a head of sales training, I went along with my sales team to one of the leading hospitals, and I went to meet the purchase head over there. Now, while I'm going there, I represent the digital marketing also. So when I'm going for a digital marketing thing, I go with a different kind of dressing. But when I'm going from a training perspective, I went with a different dressing sense, and I went to the purchase head. We had a discussion, and we had a very, very fruitful discussion, because I mean, whole objective was that I should come as an authentic and a relevant person who can help the purchase person. Not only that, we agreed upon conducting some negotiation skills training for that particular hospital also. So it was a win-win scenario for us, that we sold our medicine also, but at the same time we are going to impart the negotiation skills training for that particular hospital staff also. So I will specifically give a lot of importance to appearance, because I dressed up accordingly. The personal brand, the behavior. Now, behavior is very, very important aspect. How, when a person is having a meeting, have you come across a person who's gone for interview and he's waited and waited and waited, you know, and the HR person never apologized also and conducted the interview and never got back also. You know, that is what I call it behavior. I mean, many times I appeared for one interview for one of the companies. The lady was from a multinational pharmaceutical organization, and they had that work from home thing, but this was before COVID. And she reached office, and while she was interviewing me, she was having her breakfast, and in the process, you know, what kind of words will come while you are having a breakfast. So do you think I would have a good respect for that lady who was interviewing me while having a breakfast? So that talks about, you know, the culture of the organization also, that either she is overworked and she is just passing time for me. Of course, I did not take up the offer, of course. Third is, of course, the communication aspect, how we are communicating during the communication process, be it a sales, be it interview, be it a pitching process, wherever we are, the kind of words which you're using, which will make us different from others, my dear friend. And of course, the digital footprint. So far, you have explored only the LinkedIn profiles, but the people's presence are there on various forums, blogs, or music also. I mean, these days you can find people on Spotify also giving music also, you know, or playing tabla or guitar also, having podcasts, Wikipedias, you can have it. For example, Chintan, he's a regular blogger as well as regular article writer along with the teams. So you can find Chintan in various aspects, or Mr. Professor Money, you can find out. I mean, he is there in every place in social media. So do you think these are points which are relevant points? A, B, C, D points are relevant? Yes or no? You can just put it in the type box. Yeah. Thank you very much. I am not going too much in detail because this is primarily a boot camp, base camp kind of thing where I'm just giving an orientation of the aspects. And a very, very important aspect, which is called ESOP formula. ESOP formula is talking about the engagement and the executive presence. How effectively are you engaging your audience? Now, I'm not talking about engagement with respect to public speaking only. When you are making a pitch, my dear friend, that time also you need to engage. Just to give you an example, there was a annual review meeting which is happening in one of the companies. I was a L&D head there in my previous organization, and the atmosphere was pretty hot, you know. And person who was making a presentation was from HR before me, and he was taken to task by the CMD, and nobody was daring to come forward for the next presentation. So anyway, I gained some, guts, and then of course went to the stage. I started presenting. I opened my first slide. I was expecting, because people were saying that you have the HR manager had HR head had opened the cage of the lion and lion had come out. The first thing which I did was I just took one booklet. We designed a booklet which was for certification of the sales guys, which I have first handed over to the CMD. So he asked me, what is this? And I engaged him into conversation. And the moment he started asking questions,
There is no audio.
Yeah, I guess he got disconnected. Jay sir, are you there? Rishi ji? Rishi ji, are you there?
So Chintan,
Are you
I'll log
Yes,
off.
I am very much there.
Yeah. Saili, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, able to hear now. There was a gap in between, but now it's okay.
I think he's got dropped. He must be reconnecting because of network.
We'll wait for a minute for him to return. Let me call him and notify. It seems he's not aware that he got disconnected. Aji, आप disconnect हो गए हैं? Yes, we are not able to hear you. Please log in. हाँ जी. Yeah, he's joining in. He did not notice that he got disconnected.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir. Very clearly.
Yes, we are able to hear you. In the meanwhile, who is this user UERJTR? Sahil, if you can just remove him or her, whomsoever. Second last.
Hello, can you hear
Yeah,
me
Jay sir,
now?
we are able to hear you. Let's begin.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There was a, that is not a law of attraction. Since morning there has been a break in the internet over here. So I was just hoping it doesn't happen, but it happened. Okay.
Yeah, let
So,
us remove this user UERJTR.
Yeah, that is still there. Yeah. Some strange username.
Yes. Sahili, JSR, kindly remove that user. Yeah, that's about it. Okay,
I've
go ahead.
removed him.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
There's a breakdown in the internet over here. So I'm just taking some time to, open my presentation.
Yeah, so in the meanwhile, let us continue with your talk actually.
Yeah. I hope you're finding it relevant from the perspective which I've covered so far.
Yeah, that ESOP formula is interesting.
Okay. So thank you very much. I'm back on track. So I've opened the ESOP. ESOP is for most of the people, ESOP is something different. But here I'm taking different meaning of ESOP. So second was the stage presence. I think what was I talking before I got disconnected?
You were giving an anecdote about your own presentation, how you gave your CMD a booklet and then he started asking questions and that's how you engaged him to a conversation.
So, yes, that's true. That is from the engagement perspective. From the stage presence, I was talking that leaders and of course the freelancers or the agency people or the employees also have to be very, very careful what they are doing on the stage and because when I normally say, when you are going to present your ideas or thoughts as a trainer or as a agency person or as a freelancer or as a business person or as a startup, when you're presenting from the stage, you are naked because people see through you each and everything, whether you are bluffing them or you are sincere about it. So you have to be very, very authentic with respect to what you're speaking and through your body language also. One example I was giving when it got disconnected was one of the senior vice presidents. He used to make a presentation to his sales team, and he had a funny habit that when he's there on the stage, he used to put his right hand in the pocket and he had a lot of coins. I don't know what was his thought about it. He used to shake those coins a lot. Then I told him once, boss, ye kya karte ho aap? I sometimes, I get nervous and I make that particular sound so that it calms me down wherever I am. So, I mean, for that, he may be cutting it calm, but for the audience, it may be pretty funny from that perspective. So one has to understand what kind of stage presence are you having when you are making your pitch or your idea presentation to your stakeholders, friends. Third is the online presence. I think I've covered enough about it. What is your presence online? Because your reputation travels before you go to meet that person. So it is important that you have to, be very careful what you put on social media. Even people think that we put on Facebook wherever we traveled, whatever we think about, ideas, but be very, very careful because our social media profiles are, tracked when we have to do business with somebody. And finally, we have that physical presence, which talk about the way we dress, the way we, greet the people, the way we open the door for a lady or a gentleman, whatever it is. So that is how the physical presence talks about the way we comb, and all those aspects are there. So this is in short the ESOP formula which I've covered. Pillars of executive presence, I've already mentioned here that pillars of presence is gravitas is the strongest pillar. Appearance and communication are the smaller pillars, my dear friend. And some of the 7 C's of executive presence are composure, compassion, charisma, conciseness, clarity, credibility, and of course, confidence. So I normally expand these things, but I'm not going to expand now. I'm not going to cover the basic hygiene part because I think this is the basics about we cover in our workshop, and in my executive coaching, I cover these aspects also. So please excuse me, I'm not going to cover over here, but I like to come to my last slide, which is about the 16 behaviors of executive presence. Starts with business intelligence, risk-taking, interpersonal relationships, performance improvement, self-development. In each of these things, there are about 4 to 5 sub-behaviors which we should always focus on. So if you want, you can take a click of the slide, or I will send it to Chintan accordingly. I think Chintan bhai, I think I'm done with this. And in case you have any questions, I would love to answer those questions accordingly.
Jagmohan sir, I had a question, but it is sort of I don't know if I'm framing it correctly, but just hear me out. There is a sort of difficulty or a lag in between maintaining congruency of your own self and maintaining your presence. How does one reduce that lag? Because I understand that there is no way that you can reduce it to 0, but how to minimize that lag?
Yeah. If I understand it very clearly, you mean to say that what you want to say and what you want to pose and what you really are, they are not congruent many times. That's what I say, if I understood clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But my take is I'm going to give you a very idealistic answer, first of all. Let us not try to, mask things, first of all. Let us be authentic, because it is not necessary that if I have to showcase I'm a bombastic personality that people will do business with me. Many times what happens is people believe that if I showcase I'm an aggressive, assertive person, people will love to do business with me. Yeah, confidence definitely makes a lot of difference, but overconfidence doesn't take it that way. My whole objective is that if you can be authentic in your approach and you're grounded in your approach and you showcase what you can do and what you cannot do, that will make you an authentic personality, and that will showcase you as an authentic person. And of course, whatever is in our hand, that we dress well, we look well, and at the same time we make sure that our ecosystem around us is incongruent with what we are in reality. So for example, what you think you are, you will be posting the same things on the social media also, no? Right? What you are, you will be posting the same things on the social media also. And if you are posting A and you're talking B to a person, they will be there'll not be any congruency in that. There'll not be sync in that. So that will create little disharmony in the approach. So my take is be authentic and be consistent in your approach. Professor Mani, you like to add something on that, please? If he's there. No.
I guess he isn't around.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Manav.
He is joined using iPad.
No, and that's me.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we don't have him around. A couple of people left actually. Rafael, Mitra, and I guess Rajneesh as well.
No problem. I think
So first thing, I mean, Jay sir, one question from my side. So yes, definitely executive presence and whatever those aspects you shown, I mean, selection of dressing and all. So what is the ideal time? Because sales के अंदर तो typically when you join a new company you get trained and then you get into the culture of the company and all. But do you think that a regular refresh is needed in I mean keeping these skills updated?
Chintan bhai, it is very good question which you asked me. I tell you about my background a little bit. I come from armed forces family, and I have been trained in a military school, that is Chal Military School in Shimla. And we had all the training what is being trained done in NDA and IMA. And I thought that I had good, what we call it, executive presence. And I could not join army because of my medical reasons, but I got selected in a American multinational pharmaceutical company called Pfizer. And when I was brought down to Mumbai, I displayed that I have all the things which are required to make a presentation and to make a mark. But to my surprise, they still want, they still thought that I am not up to the mark. So the way I speak a medical term, for example, bronchospasm or hysterectomy, the right pronunciation is very much required, because I was going to cover very high profile key opinion leaders. And when we are presenting to the high profile key opinion leaders as scientific officer, you have to present in that particular manner. We were also taught, although we were taught in school the dining etiquettes, but we had a special session from, during my training program in Pfizer, by a renowned, behavior etiquette person. And we got trained in Centaur Hotel how to use the cutlery, which fork to use, which spoon to use, because I was going to serve my customers in their meetings in the 5 stars. Right. So I should know what is that. So if one has been trained on business etiquettes or executive presence, it doesn't mean that one has got everything. It has to be refreshed from time to time and made it relevant from time to time.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Small things like, wine etiquettes also make a lot of difference.
What should be the ideal frequency of getting this knowledge updated? Because see, once these trends keep on changing. I mean, earlier people were saying that different color combinations or patterns of dressing was in thing. Then maybe after 3, 4, 5 years again, the kind of nomenclature in the executive presence change. So, because I believe that a kind of once in a 5 year is something a decent time. One should undergo this training formally.
Yeah, it's a good point, because this particular topic has traveled over a period of time,
So it keeps on updating and maturing with time, with current trends and all. Because if one has undergone a training maybe in 2004, but that may not be valid in 2021.
Yes, that's true.
So this is not something, I mean, yeah, presentation skill also is something wherein you keep on changing the kind of schema, style, patterns as well. So it is a kind of, refreshing this skill is something I believe that irrespective whether you are trained or not, but revisiting this topic at a certain interval definitely helps. And what is your recommendation? Do you recommend that it has to be an annual exercise? It can be once in a 3-year kind of thing. What is your observation that how this trend is changing? The subject itself gets updated itself, right?
I think you have touched a very important point, Chintan, because earlier business etiquette, people thought that it is given to them. We know it everything typically, but it has traveled. Earlier it was business etiquette, then it came to personal branding, then it came to executive presence. But particularly during these COVID times, now it has been added at online presence. How do you conduct Zoom meetings? How you engage various platforms? So that is also a part of personal branding now. How do you conduct a virtual training program? That is also a part of it nowadays. So that is how the things are changing very fast. I can give you my own example. I make sure that I attend at least one training program once a year. So there are a lot of trainers, Indian as well as global trainers, who conduct this kind of training. My colleague Rinku is also there. She conducts coaching on this front. But my take is that it is all up to the individual person about his or her interest level. That is very, very important. My only take is that you should always have a coach who can give an outside perspective about you. You know, have you read the book called Even Eagles Need a Push? You know, Even Eagles Need a Push. There's a very interesting book and there's a movie also where it says that even CEOs need to have a coach. Even CTOs, they need to have a coach. Now, people can have physical, that is for the physical activity, a coach, and for the personality or as a leader, you should have a coach, leadership coach. So because they give an outside perspective and they give you a holistic approach that what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. Marshall Goldsmith, I would urge everybody to go through it. He gives 20 traits of leaders which they should not do, and that is at the senior level. 20 traits. His book is What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. So it is very relevant to your question that you mentioned, that how often we should keep on, updating ourselves.
Thanks, Yesar. Now let us quickly ask everyone available on the call. So guys, if you can just share your questions, or if you have any feedback to share with Rishiji, you can share it. So we'll start with Deepak. Hi Deepak, good to see you. Do you have any feedback or any questions to share with JSR?
Hi, good evening, Chintan sir.
Haji, good evening, sir.
Again, I'm on travel and I was on the way, so just could cover a part of it, and I think it was a very wonderful session and a lot to learn from it. Thank you, GSR sir, and I'll make sure that once I reach my destination, I will go through the recording.
Thank you so much. Deepak is a TMI member who is based out of Guwahati, and he keeps on, while he is traveling multiple times, but he makes sure that he logs into our webinars regularly.
That's great,
So,
Deepak. Very
thanks,
nice.
Deepak. Thanks for being a regular participant.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We move on to Joshi sir. Joshi sir, do you have any question, any feedback to share, sir?
Well, I would like to mention two things. One, of course, is that I never realized that digital presence is so very critical and important, and going to become more and more important with time. Of course, I am from the old generation, but I have to understand this subject, and I think there is a lot in what you have said, Rishiji. The other point that I would like to make is the selection of the subject, which is presence. It's the presence that matters. It's the leader, it's the presence word itself is very important, a leader's presence. Now, why so? Because the leaders have to understand that they themselves are responsible for building up perceptions about themselves in others. And these perceptions which get built up in the stakeholders' mind are very much influenced by your presence, by way of your communication, the way you present, the way you carry yourself about, and all that. And I think it's a very, very important subject, and I must congratulate Rishiji for selecting this subject. It's very important. It touches upon all aspects of leadership in one way or the other form, and it's been a very good refresher course for me. So thanks a lot. I will keep in mind to build up myself the digital presence to the extent possible, and let's see how it goes, because I am the one who has been normally shunning from social media and all that. But maybe I have to reconsider the whole thing. Thanks for the eye-opener. Thank you very much. Chintanji, must appreciate your effort all along. It's the first time perhaps I'm speaking on the in this particular event, because this has been the 4th or the 5th event I have attended.
Thank you so much, sir.
I very much appreciate your efforts, and I think the going is good. All the best to you also.
Thank you,
Thanks a
sir.
lot for all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Indwin, do you have a question, feedback to share?
Yes, Chintan, thank you very much for this efforts. Every week or every month, there are a lot of events happening, and I was tied up with my exam, so I could not attend. But I would like to thank you for arranging so much sessions, which are very versatile. None of them are connected to each other. It is like from the simplest communication skills to the advanced technological advancements you are taking. So we are very grateful that you are connecting both the common skills, the soft skills and the technological skills which we need to understand. And I would like to thank sir also for a very crisp presentation, and like effortlessly he could speak so much things which were very valuable for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Edwin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Edwin. We move on to Supriya. Supriya, you have any feedback to share? Any questions?
Yes, it's always a learning experience listening to Rishi sir. And I'd like to reiterate his first slide where I think he wrote that change favors the prepared mind. And now if you look back and whatever he covered, I think it's a good reminder for all of us that there are various aspects of our personality which, if we do not manage it us on our own, then people will live with their own perception, and it will definitely impact the next opportunity that comes our way. So instead of just leaving it for others to decide, I think it's time we take it in our own hands and take care of our personal branding. So thank you so much for finally sharing a formula of ESOP. And thanks, Chintan, for arranging this session. As always, I mean, TMI has been very proactive in organizing very useful sessions, and this one is an addition.
Thanks. Thanks, Supriya. We
Supriya.
move on to Harshvardhan.
Good evening, Chintanji, JSRji. The session was really engaging. One feedback that I would like to share, which I have personally been experiencing, with reference to Manav's query to how to have an engaging congruence between the real you and the representation that you are demonstrating to the outside world. I have actually been practicing the visualization 10 minutes before any representation or demonstration of any public appearance or public speaking, which has helped me to have that minimizing the difference or distance between the real you and the representation. I believe that has helped me, and if Manav is available, can practice it, the visualization of how whatever you are going to speak or represent or present to the outside world before you actually move on to online or offline presentation. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Actually, it answers a lot of my questions. I also had a follow-up to what the discussions Rishi sir had with Chintan sir. You said that you take training once a year and you look out for coaches. Sir, this topic is so very subjective and so very contextual as to what might be good for India may not be good for the US or UK or Europe. On those grounds, how does one find a good coach? Because I believe that a good coach has the ability to, or any coach for that matter, has the ability to shape you irrespective of your levels and your abilities. So how do you find a very good coach so that you have a good presence rather than a bad one?
I will say it, when the disciple is ready, coach will appear. Okay. So
Sir, coach आ तो जाएंगे पर ऐसे 2-3 coaches रहेंगे. How do I know?
That's true. But let me share with you. You have to see the credibility of the coach who is there, because today everybody is saying that I'm a coach. Even a 20-year student also becomes a coach nowadays by doing some certifications. So you have to see the credibility of the person, what kind of certifications he has done or she has done, and of course, what is the pedigree of that person, and that will help you out whether you can choose him or her as a coach or not. So I think that is something, and rest will depend upon your, one is identification of the coach. And normally when you pick up a coach, there is a first meeting, we call it contracting, when we call it contracting. In the contracting stage, the good coach will give an option to you that this is what I will do with you, and this is what my approach is. If you wish, we can continue. Otherwise, we can be good friends. So a good coach will not try to sell to you. A good coach will always try to be a friend with you. At the same time, always have one contracting session, first contracting session.
Okay, so that would work as a litmus paper test.
Yeah, it will always work as a an opening session kind of thing, which coaches don't charge at all. But the contracting session is very, very important, which is not a part of the coaching process.
Okay. Thank you.
Secondly, one should be very clear. You want to have coach or you want to have mentor. There is a difference between mentor and a coach. Coach will never advise you. Coach will make you do the hard work. Okay. Mentor will tell you do this, don't do this, and that is what the difference is. Coach will not tell you, give you the formula like I give you ESOP's formula. Coach will tell you, go on the online or go to somebody else, find out what are the formulas of personal branding. So when you will do it, that will be more powerful. So being an executive coach and from Marshall Goldsmith certified, that is what my take is. That coaching is more powerful than mentoring, because when you find out this is the better solution for me, that will stay with you more than when somebody tells you that you can do this and you can do that, can't do that.
Correct. So I think 2 litmus paper tests for finding out a good coach. That should be good enough. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Now we move on to Abhay. Abhay, do you have any question, feedback to share?
The session was very good and very interactive session. At least my question is more to do with what are the things we should keep in mind while going on social presence or social media. Actually, I am more of a technocrat, so I feel that I should not be too much on the social media but more focus on the technical component. So that's where I'm finding a little bit difficult to move on the social media and have a proper alignment type.
It's okay that not to be on too much on social media. That is not a requirement. But my take is that whatever is little put on social media, it should be relevant. If somebody like me goes through your profile on social media, does it represent Abhay or not? That is what I should be able to make a picture of Abhay without meeting Abhay. So that is where, suppose you have written some papers, suppose you have done some kind of research, suppose you have designed some kind of apps. So you can write a, your own analysis about it. You can write a blog around it. You can write blog once in 6 months or 3 months also. But whatever you write, it should be relevant for you from your point of view.
Okay. Sure, I will do it.
A word which Manav used.
Sahil, if you can mute Harshvardhan, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So what I was saying is that I missed it. That you, as a litmus test, you can ask somebody known to you, not known to you, to go through your profile and tell you whether it is in line with your personality or not.
So I have something to add here. So there are various types of people. There are people who are more expressive, more articulative, and they are, publishing blogs and things more frequently. And probably you may not be the person who would wish to write something every fortnight or every month kind of thing. But at least what you can do is whatever you feel. If you are not comfortable writing, this is the time you can record a video as well, and let that video be even 3-minute length, right?
Yeah.
So there is no specific kind of prescription. So you can do, if you are comfortable with text, you can do that. If you are comfortable with video, you can do that, and you can choose your frequency.
Thank you, Chetan bhai. I think
whichever mode you are comfortable, podcast, videos, blogging, commenting, You can do that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we move on to, we had Anis, I guess. Anis left.
Yeah, Anis left.
Okay. And we have Debraj. So we can ask all questions to him and he would be happy to answer.
I just joined. Chintan, you are just Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was going on some our internal VC call, and then I saw your text. In fact, my team was supposed to join this call actually, but there's some OEM's call happened scheduled, so we are not able to join.
Okay.
I'm extremely sorry on behalf of my team also. I hope that session went well.
Yes, so that is
Jagmohan
where
is there.
yes,
I think it will be very crazy session.
Yes, it was a good refresher and thought-provoking one. So definitely, I hope you would be able to go through our recording as well.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
look forward to have your team also participating in Team webinar. All are welcome. I mean, we already have good presence and we also have free slots available, and we encourage people to invite their friends and colleagues who are like-minded professionals. So please feel free to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You have any questions for JSR?
Yes, absolutely.
So go on, ask your question.
I just ask one question to Jagmohan is summarize his 1.5 hour session in maybe in 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Okay, I will give you the formula for ABCD, that is having executive presence. I think that is one formula I can tell you, but my proprietary formula, I will not give it now to you. You will have to listen to the recording. So the formula is ABCD, that is A for appearance, B for behavior, C for communication, and D for digital presence. So that is the ABCD formula. And in short, and we call executive presence also is other word is called a gravitas, which is an invisible word, which talks about your invisible presence. So that before you open your mouth, people make an impression about you, and perceptions sell. The reality many times don't sell. The perception sell, what you speak doesn't sell. So it is important that whatever is in our control, for example, appearance is in our control, communication is in control, behavior is in our control, and digital presence is in a control, that we control. As a result, we form a gravitas.
Okay.
I think fantastic. Thank you very much, Jagmohan. Thank you very much. I think it's a very important parameter you have described. And it's not for only for the professionals. I think it's our entire life cycle. This is the requirement in current scenario. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
is always there.
Thanks, Dev. Now we move on to Kajal. Kajal, do you have any question, feedback?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Kajal.
Hi, Jagmohan. I'm so sorry, I'm dining right now, but I loved your seminar. Jagmohan, sir, I would like to ask you one question, which is that let's say you've totally explained how important the dressing up part is. Like for people like me who can barely spend time on it, what is your best tip that you can give me? Like, what is that one tip which you can give me, which will help me manage a balance with my current lifestyle, which is where I cannot, it's not I cannot, it's just that I don't have the drive inside me to dress up. I'm so sorry, I know, but I don't have that drive inside me to really dress up for something. And I walked in a meeting today, 11 o'clock, and everybody was in lasers, and I'm in my casual t-shirt, not t-shirt, something sensible, semi-formal. But at such times, when I'm also holding a very higher position on that table, what is the tip that you would like to give me? That what should I look for my dress up? Like this should be the minimum basic. Minimum, this is what I have to do.
Okay. So Kajal, thanks. Interesting question. Rather than me answering this question, Kajal, there is a mirror in front of you. What is that mirror telling you that what kind of dress Kajal should wear?
Jagmohan sir, I will tell you my reality. This has always been a part and parcel of my life and my lifestyle. That people carry their confidence, their thing on in their wear, and I carry my confidence in my heart. Like for me, everything matters when you open your mouth. I barely give any importance to something which is clothes. Not clothes. I mean, of course, a decent dress up is required. That is required irrespective of a professional meet. And those clothes which are like wearing a formal, wearing something very particular for that event, that has been something lacking on my part all my life. And I would just say that I carry my entire thing inside my heart, in my brain. It's pure. And it's yours.
That's great.
It's not
That's
pure.
a good one. That's good one, Kajal. That's a good one. Who are your idols among the ladies? Top idols.
My
For
mom.
example, I mean, professionally.
Professionally, oh, I think I like Vani Kola. I like Vani Kola. Talari.
Sorry?
Talari, Vani Kola.
Okay.
And then I like, yes, very a few. There have been, the people on ground have been my idols who have worked rather than some famous celebrities. As some people that I have been personally in contact with. My teachers in my past who changed my life, my mentors, they changed my life. They've made me the person I am today. They have been my idols, and I think they're going to be my idols for the rest of my life. So they also dress very simple, like just for the basic.
You see, if you believe that by simple minimalistic thinking you are doing well, you don't need to change. Again, I must say that you have to be authentic. You know, you have to be authentic. Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
If you can be authentic by wearing a normal shirt, I mean that is what Kajal is. I should not force you to wear a blazer or a top and a skirt kind of thing. I mean, whatever you Kajal is comfortable in. Yeah, I mean, one should not put a mask on yourself. For example, but at the same time, I must tell you that we had a scientist who was having the same approach what you mentioned, but as she rose, she became a president of the R&D. So there she had to meet the counterparts of other companies. So although she was not comfortable wearing those jackets and heels or shoes, but the job required it. So that is where sometimes one has to mask also. That is what I can say. Sometimes the job requires it to be done.
Who decides that the job requires this? Like, is it me who decides, or is it like, where do I make that decision that this job, this meeting requires this?
You're working somewhere, Kajal?
I am a part of, I just saw Wockhardt name. Sir, I'm a director in the group. I'm a new member in the Wockhardt company. And I work very close with the Farakiwalas right now. Since you're hosting a Wockhardt Zoom call, I can assume that you are a part of Wockhardt.
Yes, I'm part of
I'm a part of the same family. Yes.
Oh, great. Which department you are in?
Sir, I am an advisor. No. I am a director in the foundation. I'm a director in 7P Studies with Deepak Farakiwala.
Okay, you're with foundation.
No, I'm an advisor to the board, and I'm helping in the COVID thing with the Limited as well. So the current solar projects of Limited and everything is being led by me.
Okay, great.
I know
great.
Yeah.
I got it.
So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Good to know. Welcome to Wockhardt family. And
thank you.
And I would say that
I work very close to Murtuza and Lalit Agarwal and have been very close to me, sir. They are the ones which I work. that I
Yeah,
work with. Yeah.
that's good. Suppose you are having a meeting with Dr. Habil Khurakiwala and Dr. Murtaza Khurakiwala.
Yes. Uncle,
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to say that suppose you have a meeting with them, you just can't walk in with a jeans and shirt only there, right?
But this is how they see me every day, because I stay very close to the Casa Khurakiwala. So they see me every day in my regular clothes. I meet them in their house only. Most of my meetings are at Casa Khurakiwala. So this is the dress I walk in there.
Kajal, these days are a little different. We can have a separate discussion over this, other than this forum.
Yes.
You can have my number separately from Chintan. And we can have a discussion.
Yeah, go ahead, Dev.
Yeah, Dev.
Yeah, Kajal, I give a classical example of Mukesh Ambani.
Yes, sir.
So if you can see Mukesh Ambani, you can see is always in the white shirt, in the casual, and then formal pants and white shirts. Correct?
I've seen him. Yes, sir. I've seen him.
But if you notice him on any meetings, any professional meetings,
yes, he's a blazer. Yes, I've seen
he is not on the same race until unless its own internal meetings or the team meetings. Any meetings, he outside his internal teams, he is always in the right dressed in the professional manner. So I can give you that example. Why I'm not knowing the background of the session what Jagmohan has given to all of us, but as your question you arise, I thought it's a right example. It's a Mukesh Ambani's dress. It's
okay, so I need to identify. Understood, sir.
Yes. Maybe in the board meeting, everybody in Mukesh Ambani group, all are family members. Major of the board members are family members. They see each other in the family or in their own houses or in the clubs. But when it's a board meeting, in the official board meeting, they never go in the casual dress, though it's a family member, whether it's a husband and wife both, or his son or daughter is also on the board, but all are dressed in the formal manner because it's a perception they are throwing to the outside world.
Understood, sir. It's a very deep message that I need to understand, that we need to decide. It majorly is going to depend on the location and the agenda. If it's a casual meeting, it's a casual dress. Or okay, sir. I'll start putting more efforts towards the professional dressing.
Obviously,
but thank
it is
you so much.
Sometimes you have to dress for the occasion also, my dear.
Understood. I mean, I think this is going to change my perception. TMI has always helped me learn new things. I think this is a new learning I'm going to take away today. That I will start dressing up for, I'll at least start putting that effort, and I'll see where that drive takes me. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Well done.
It was really nice for there. Thank you.
We can connect offline also after that, of course.
Absolutely, sir. We are a part of the same family. We need to connect.
Thank you so much, Kajal. And on behalf of PMI community, I would request Manav to extend vote of thanks on behalf of all attendees. Manav, over to you.
Hello. Thank you so much, Rishi sir. Actually, the thing about executive presence, although so much heard about it, everyone, even if I ask a 10-year-old kid, what do you think about executive presence? He'll list the points. But to explain it in such context and such nuances is a very tedious job, and you did it so well, and you explained all of this so well with interactions. I have never seen a TMI webinar. I mean, there are questionnaire sessions, but in the midst of it having interactions, this was so much fun. It was so much unique, and it actually helped us understand this entire topic so much better. Like, Kajal is a very dear friend of mine as well. So people have been trying to tell her you need to dress up and everything, but she would never agree to it. And you made her agree to it as well. So that was one of the biggest shocking factors for me. Thank you so much for the webinar. And I would like to thank the TMI community as well. Chintan sir, these webinars, as a student, as a 21-year-old, I have the ability to see the world, how it is and how it functions and what are the developments in the world much more personally, much more better, without any corruption in it. By corruption, I mean the articles that are written, the news articles that are written have a narrative to it. And that is not there. So thank you so much for that as well.
So much, and thanks JSR for spending time with the forum and sharing your expertise and experience on this topic. I would like to thank all the attendees for their active participation. Have a great evening and Sunday ahead. Thank you so much. And
thank you very much.
And formally conclude the recording of this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chintan, for having me. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.